Nigga got out of jail today. I'm up on stage tonight. All this gonna change on a dime. Play that shit. Put your hands up.
Pardi, appreciate you making the time.
Thanks
I
for having me.
guess I wanted to start with, when people think of a 90s rapper that's incarcerated, getting out and then blowing up, they think of Tupac. But B-Rilla is completely different, particularly because he's from outside of New York City. You're also from outside of New York City. How did you approach this character to give him that swag that people might not be used to coming from New York rappers that didn't grow up in New York City?
Um, I guess I really was just able to, pull from myself, my own story, my own environment, people that I know that were like in similar situations to Rilla. Um, it wasn't nothing I was unfamiliar with. And when I was reading up on him, and they just said he was real charismatic, I want to just make sure I can implement that as much as possible.
Yeah, gotcha. So when we're about to be at episode 5. When you were reading the script at this point, is your impression that B-Rilla is completely brought in as far as trying to be legitimate and focus on the music like Lou wants him to, or do you think he's still 1 foot in, 1 foot out?
I would say he's a person that is he's giving his best shot. He's making a conscious effort. He's he he understands the opportunity he's been given, but he also faces his own dilemma of his timeline in which he needs things to happen, which means he needs a place to stay, he needs some money, he needs to take care of his family. So I do think he's giving us a conscious effort, but he's a person that operates at I need results.
Gotcha. And being that you said you need results, what do you think he thinks about Imani? Because I feel like if she comes in and can give, like you said, more results, there's a possibility that she could possibly steal you away from Lou. Did you get that impression at the halfway point in the season?
Mhm. When I met Imani, I knew Rilla was really intrigued. One, because I think it may even be like the first woman that he was even encountered since we've seen him. And then she came in and immediately was talking nice to him. So I think he definitely wanted to hear out what she had to say and see exactly why she had an interest in him. And I think he was open to it.
Thing. And I want to commend you for the work that you've done on the soundtrack, particularly because I was a teenager in the 90s. And I think you really were able to capture kind of how that 90s sound goes with the call and response choruses, the scratch choruses, and things like that. So I had to ask you, as someone that's a hit maker in the current scene, what's more challenging for you as an artist? Was it more challenging to try and get back into that 90s sound, or is it more challenging to make hits in the current day?
Mm. Um, I can't personally take all the credit for those records, because I had DNA, who's a phenomenal artist in his own right, and then Big Tank, he did the soundtrack, so he did most of the production on the album. So they were really able to do a lot of the heavy lifting on this. I came in and I knew what it sounded like. I knew I wanted to go Method Man, uh, DMX. I knew I wanted to have a little bit of, that style incorporated in there. They really, really were instrumental in helping me bring it to life. So all I had to do was, put my voice there, add my notes, and they just made it beautiful.
Wow, perfect, perfect. All right, so now episode 5 is coming up this weekend. So when people see this interview and all that, the big chatter is going to be about who killed Famous, who was behind it, and all that. My theory is I think it might be Rock. I wanted to get what your theory was. I'm sure you know now, but at the midpoint when you first read the script, who popped in your mind as kind of like the suspect?
Hmm. Who popped in my mind as the number one suspect of getting the famous? I'm not even sure. I don't think I don't I'm not sure I had I just didn't know what happened to him. I just had no idea. I didn't. I didn't know what from reading the script, I had no idea what happened to famous.
Gotcha. Yeah, we'll see later on in the season. So, all right. So when I'm looking at the timeline, I'm thinking it's roughly about 93, so to speak. So when you look at hip hop history, this is right before we got Nas, Big with their debut albums in 94. So when I'm looking at B-Rilla, if he really existed, who do you think he would have been cool with at that time? And who do you think he may have had odds with?
I think for sure, being from upstate and just like how I know upstate operates, I think he definitely would have been cool with a lot of the Wu-Tang guys.
Okay.
I think, you know what I mean? I think him, Meth and Brad, like, you know, I feel like all of them would have got along. And me, just because DMX is personally a favorite, I don't know how, you know, personable he was. But I would have liked, if I existed in that time and space, to be cool with him. And I also see like a young Busta Rhymes. I think they would have hit it off too creatively.
Perfect. Pardi, I appreciate your time. I know with Raising Kanan, no one is safe, but hopefully you'll make it to the the end of the season. Hopefully we can talk again next season, but I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Pray for me. Pray for me.
I will do.